If you think back to when we saw some great performance from Bassani as well, that was with high track temperatures.
Yes, at what track temperature does the track temperature indicator start to break? Because if it's going to happen, it's going to be the up. It's already the temperature right up there.
Well, I think the humidity meter is definitely broken because it's only saying 58, and it certainly feels a lot more than that, than 58%. But it is hot and sticky and difficult conditions for everyone here in Indonesia. And speaking to a lot challenges that they'll face this weekend, one of the big things is just getting your body to cool down after you've been out on track. That's why we're going to see the riders with their little paddling pools out the back of the garages, and they'll get straight into that once they finish a session, bring down their body temperature, get themselves cool and start the recovery process, because that's one of the big challenges that you have in World SBK. With 3 races in a weekend, it's really difficult for these riders. Very different challenge to what you have for the likes of MotoGP riders, where you've got, you know, Friday practice, physical to train, manhandle the bike over the course of a 21-lap race, that you're going to need to have an awful lot of concentration to avoid making mistakes. And that's one of the big challenges for the riders. Physically, they can deal with that a lot because of how hard they train, and they're all prepared for that physically, but mentally as well, you can't afford to make mistakes.
Well, the ones who will struggle with it the most inevitably will be the riders who've been out injured, the riders still recovering from injury. I know Chaz Davies was not fully fit by any stretch of the imagination when he went to Argentina last time out, and was struggling for race fitness as much as anything, having been off the bike clearly through that injury. He might be among the riders perhaps who will struggle.
Chaz's favourite track's one of the places he went really well, because traditionally his fitness has been a big advantage for him, and that is one of the areas where some riders in the past had a big advantage over others. Now pretty much everyone on the grid is super fit, and that advantage that you might have had, it does get minimised quite a bit. But if you just have that small 1% advantage, it can make the difference over the course of 3 races in the weekend.
Yes, he's not shy of
always in the middle of race weekends. There are the gap between race weekends, they're training hard, they're all out cycling or hiking or running or one thing after the other. And I think here in Indonesia we've seen quite a few of them out swimming as well.
Or just before race weekends if you're Scott Redding, of course.
Yeah, and obviously for Scott, that gap between Jerez and Portimao, cycling between the 2 tracks, it was an interesting way to get himself ready, but it worked. He had a great weekend in Portimao.
Yes, anyone who'd been criticising him prior to that weekend for the decision to exert himself between 2 rounds quickly had to eat humble pie after a brace of second positions over the course of that weekend. 5 minutes to go, so we're into the final stretch now as far as hot laps are concerned. Top rank Raz Gaplion. 36.260 at the moment is top rank time. That's going to be second by.
He's just trying to use the place to get